Hello there, I'm fellow Cybertronians. This is the Ginger Transformer with the Ginger Transformer podcast. Mega Ginge. We've now had Siege from the WFC. Now the quick review of Earthrise. Take note we only get to see Earth for like 5 minutes. But anyway, it was basically at the end of Siege. Elite is left on Cybertron with a very small cadre of Autobots. Megatron's still around. Prime and that have left on the Ark. And the Allspark is officially off Cybertron and missing somewhere in space. All caught up? Good. Okay. So, like I said at the end of the last one, there are many storylines here. I'm going to follow Optimus's one, then I'm going to follow the Decepticon one, and they'll eventually like merge together. And Elita's one, I'll go with it as long as I can, because it's several plot lines in this one, several subplots as well. New characters, yes, there's new characters, yay! Very back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and quite frankly, I can keep up with it when I'm seeing it, when I'm just trying to remember to tell everyone. No. First of all, new characters. Unfortunately, most of these characters you see in the first episode, and then that's us for new characters. Because the thing that was approaching the Ark at the end of season one, we find out what it is. It's a mercenary ship, a merc ship, led by Double Dealer, and you have Exhaust, Bugbite, and the Coneheads, Ramjet, Thrust, and Dirge. They're the new characters. They find the Ark, they deliver the Ark and its prisoners to, of all people, a Quintesson. Yeah, who has his own like private army of like those like Ironhide robot clone thingies. It's weird, Decius, that's his name, Decius. And he's a five-faced Quintesson for about 10 minutes. And then one of the faces decides it's better off without the other faces and cuts the other faces off with like a plasma torch. Nice. It's not really explained why Decius was searching for the Ark in the first place. Maybe the mercs even came across it by accident, you know. But yeah, they're taken to Decius the Quintesson, who says, "I'm the breaker of chains. I'm your salvation." Blah blah blah. I set the slaves free. Yeah, good for you. But then he comes back just with the one face, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Double Dealer, I was going to pay you. Fuck you. You don't get nothing because I am in charge now. All the other heads are gone." It's weird. It's a one-faced Quintesson who's obviously a bit of a mental case. So Double Dealer, what he normally does, if he isn't getting his money, he turns on you, and so do the rest of the mercs. They set Prime and that free, and off they go to find the Offspark. Well, Double Dealer and the others hold off Decius and Decius's army of like, I'm just going to call them Ironhide clones. They look very Ironhidey. So off the Autobots go. They find in the part of the galaxy they're in, there is an active space bridge. So they go to it. Unfortunately, there's a ship lodged in it. Oh dear. So they go about doing what they do. They dock with the station. They see if there's anyone on the station, and they go through the space bridge because you've got the door here, and you've got like Prime and Bumblebee walk through it, and there's this big glowing kind of almost like a Stargate kind of thing. And because of that, they can literally just walk from one place to another through the space bridge because half the ship's there, half the ship. We don't find out what this planet is. We never find out. It's basically this ship is there. Ship is blocking thing. They need to unblock it so they, get Wheeljack out with the explosives. Good for them. That can't end well. So they've docked, and all of a sudden there's another ship again, and it docks, and they find the station's only remaining inhabitant, which seems to be Scorponok. But he announces himself as last of the Scorponok's. So I'm assuming there was more than one of them at one point. He's still big, but obviously he's not like Titan class, He's not huge. The Autobots start fighting him, only for them to gain the upper hand when the Decepticons show up, led by Megatron. Rewind. Okay, Megatron's still on Cybertron. He's pissed that Prime got away, that the Allspark's off of the planet, and he's having to basically suck his own troops dry of energy just to deal with something called, it's a project of Shockwaves. It's called Project Nemesis. So while he's doing this, Elita 1, Chromia, Red Alert, and Jetfire are going about trying to free prisoners left, right, and centre, only to realise these are Decepticons. He's locking up his own people. Elita basically takes a stand and says, "Yeah, we ain't leaving anyone behind." So along with another new character, I think it was a Scrapface, basically a different coloured reflector. They get him and a bunch of others. They set them free and tell them to run, go, get out of here. Eventually, Elita and that are caught. They respond to a distress signal from, I think it's Steeljaw. Steeljaw at this point is dead. They're just basically like, the Decepticons like electrifying his corpse to send a signal or something. He's in cassette mode, it's not like they're torturing the kitty. But yeah, they turn up looking for him and get captured themselves, and they will now join all these other Decepticons who are going to be drained of their energy and basically just killed for this Project Nemesis. I've done that twice now because let's face it, if you don't know what Nemesis is, the starship, the Decepticon starship, basically. Megatron finds out that Prime is alive, wants this sped up. Alita and the others escape thanks to the prisoners they helped to rescue previously. They came and said, listen, we don't care about insignias anymore. They were going to kill us all. We ain't Autobots, but we ain't falling Megatron anymore. And they get the hell out of Dodge. Even Flywheels lets them go. I mean, he has to take a punch to the face, obviously. But yeah, he lets them go. Just so no one thinks he's let them go, And so, don't know. Megatron is able to drain enough of his own soldiers to power up the Nemesis, and off they go to find Optimus Prime. And they find them on this abandoned station with Scorponok shouting, "I am the last of the Scorponok." A lot of like kind of ravings and rantings, Eventually, you find out that he was part of a race that were tortured by the Quintessons, basically the same as the Cybertronians, but eventually he just kind of loses that small rational part of him who's explaining things and starts attacking again. Optimus Prime and Megatron have no choice but to join forces at this point to defeat him. As soon as that's done, Prime turns on Megatron. Obviously, see this. Starscream, however, having been smacked about by Megatron previously, has returned to the Nemesis and said, "Open fire on that damn station." "Oh, we can't do that. Megatron's on." "Yeah, sure, he's dead. I'm the leader now. Shoot the station." And the Nemesis opens fire on the station. Kaboom! There it goes. Somehow that just leads them to being in the dead universe. Like the Autobot arc, that is. And the Autobots on board the arc are just now in the dead universe somehow. Nemesis naturally follows, before the tear in space that they created closes. Because, they want to kill him. And Megatron returns, very pissed off at Starscream. He tells him to get off his bridge after throttling the shit out of him. Now you get a bit of backstory here, because when you're in the dead universe, we meet Skylynx. I think that's it for new characters. He's in it for one episode. You see at the start, it's a flashback. "Oh, I want the Matrix. I'm better than you, blah, blah, blah." Alpha Trion's like, "No, you ain't getting it. You're an asshole." Skylynx charges him. Alpha Trion, in the dead universe he goes. And he's spent millennia there, alone with his thoughts. Basically, he's repented. He has repented for everything he's done at this point. So while they're all trapped there, he leads Optimus Prime on a journey of self-reflection, basically, to say, listen, get your head in the game. You're not doing bad now, but your future is really bad if you don't change course, basically. And that's where you see like a silhouette of Nemesis Prime, with the red eyes, with like a snowy white backdrop behind him. Before Optimus goes, "Okay, I'm good. What do I need to do?" Megatron's getting his own visit at this point in the dead universe because somebody couldn't just warn Megatron of the future that's coming for him unless he was technically out of play and the dead universe counts. Galvatron shows up and basically starts telling him, "Right, here's what you got to do. You got to get the Matrix. You got to kill Prime. You got to do this, that. Save yourself from the future." He's not letting on that he's his future self. Now, at this point, could that be because he's not his future self? Because obviously this is like G1 adjacent. No, he is. It's confirmed in the next season, Kingdom, that he is his future self. But he's trying to help him in the now. He's like, harness your rage, harness your energy, kill Prime, take the Matrix, And Megatron's like, "I don't trust you." And Galvatron's like, "Good. Never trust anybody, Galvatron leads Megatron to the Ark and uses the power of hate to launch some massive red energy beam at the Ark. It was going to destroy it. Skylynx, who was ready to basically leave the dead universe with the Autobots, he's served his time, he's repented, penance, all that kind of stuff, jumps in front of the beam and is destroyed by it while he's telling the Autobots, "Go, get out, go while you can," Optimus taking these words of wisdom that he got from Skylynx with him. "You're going to have to kill Megatron, son." It's basically the wisdom. So they get out. Megatron follows him out, but because Galvatron can't be there, he is whipped up by his master. But as he disappears, he tells Megatron, look for this thing, you need this thing." And he shows him the golden disc. Any Beast Wars fans at this point are probably sitting like, peeing in the pants, because they're sitting going, "Yeah, we're going to get Beast Wars." You do it. It's the next series. But they both come out of a tear in space. Both ships are pretty much not very operational in orbit of a green and blue planet. That would be ours, but it's prehistoric times. It's okay. There are no humans. I hate humans in Transformers. Do in the next series get Predacons and Maximals. But we're not finished yet. The Nemesis, no weapons as of yet, simply starts towing the Ark towards it with the tractor beam, and the two ships kind of just collide with each other, you know? Decepticons board the Ark, Autobots board the Nemesis. There's fighting all over the place. There's a big duel between Optimus Prime and Megatron himself, at which point Megatron is able to get away with the Matrix. Unfortunately, the Merc ship shows up, and Double Dealer is just firing on them and pounding them. And they're like, whoa, stop fighting. We give up. We don't have any shields. We don't have any weapons. Stop what you're doing. And I notice there's something wrong with Double Dealer. His eyes are kind of green, and he doesn't seem to be talking of his own accord. Sounds a bit more like, oh, wait, no, yeah, there's Decius. He like just kind of comes into focus behind him, and he's got like one of his tentacles in the back of his neck. And they're like, is he even alive? And Decius is like, could be alive. Maybe he's alive. We don't know if he's alive. You know, it's probably a talking corpse at this point. Unfortunately for Decius, during the battle, it's just, some boom booms here and there. Internal ship battles, not ship to ship, because like I said, weapons are offline. Cog is sucked out of space. So Cog gets on board the ship, and Cog, there goes bug bite, there goes exhaust. Don't know what ramjet, thrust, and dirge are at this point, if I'm completely honest. Maybe they went back to Cybertron. I don't know. You won't see them again, I don't think. And Cog gets up and he shoots Decius. He's like, yeah, listen, bitch, you quit firing on my ships, quit firing on my people, blah, blah, blah. Tentacle goes right through Cog and leaves him in a mortally wounded state as Decius slinks off back into the shadows. As now the Nemesis, I think it is, now has weapons and is firing on Decius' ship. Cog is sending out a distress call to try to tell him he's got control of the ship. They can't hear him. He's too weak. He can barely hear him. And a kind of heart-wrenching decision to kill him off. He's blown to pieces along with Decius' ship, Apart from Bug Bite, Exhaust, and Double Dealer, he's the only other casualty, really. He's the only Autobot casualty. Well, Steeljaw doesn't really matter. He's already dead, But yeah, then they crash land on Earth of the prehistoric past. Jumping back to Cybertron, they were the only deaths in space. Alita and the others have launched a full-scale attack against Shockwave and his minions because he said, we have Energon, come here, we'll shelter you, we'll keep you. He just wants all the Energon sucked out of them for himself and his projects. He's going to kill basically his own people, and anyone else dumb enough to fall into the trap. Alita and our very sparse forces against Jetfire's device. They go to try to stop any Decepticons that might be going to this trap. The Decepticons that rescued them, Scrapface and the others, go with them because they need the numbers. But they turn up, and the Decepticons don't believe them, obviously. Use are Autobots, use are traitors. So he starts shooting and bang, 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 and everyone's like pretty much down. Not dead, but down. Well, Alita's went off the face. Shockwave has some sort of new cloaking tech. So he can 1 minute he's here, 1 minute he's there, 1 minute, and then he's nowhere, So he uses this to bait Alita. She's not stupid. She figures it out. She sends a coded message to Jetfire. Tell the Guardians to start the attack, blah, 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 blah. And this brings Shockwave out. She's like, whoa, the Guardians don't interfere. What the hell? And they start shooting at each other. Unfortunately, she is beat by Shockwave. And she's tied up and he's going to do experiments on her. Then he gets a call. Yeah, we've got all these other prisoners. What do you want us to do with them? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, right, I'm coming. I'll have a look-see. Unfortunately for Shockwave, and unfortunately, luckily for everyone else around, Alita's team and Alita herself had successfully planted explosives all over the place. And they are set to go off any minute. Outside, though, the Autobots have got free and they're fighting for their lives, and so is these traitor Decepticons. No, the ones that just didn't want to die, obviously. And there's a big battle, and they all ensue. And Alita, you see her again trying to get free. But time runs out. There's a massive explosion in the Decepticon Citadel, the big arena, whatever the hell it is, that kind of cracks the ground, and flames start coming up everywhere else, and things blow up all around the place. Everyone else is scattering, fleeing, trying to get away, but quite frankly, they all die. And before you say, by extreme, they didn't all die. Next series, it pretty much confirms they're all dead. Alita, gone. Shockwave, gone. Jetfire, gone. Red Alert, gone. Chromia, gone. Scrapface, gone. Probably Battletrap and Spinister, because I don't remember them being on the Nemesis, so they're probably gone as well. And it's like at this point, Cybertron isn't looking too healthy itself, but as prophesied, if you take the Allspark off, Cybertron starts to die. There's not a lot of new faces in it. We basically lose most of the new faces we get. Scorponok's blown up with the station. Double Dealer and two of his mercs are dead, you know. Cog, he wasn't new, but he's dead as well, you know. Scrapface, I'm pretty sure he's dead, you know. At this point, most Cybertronian life seems to just die off on the planet. It's terrifying, you know. Switching back again. The two ships crash on Earth, prehistoric Earth. Now, no one's been put in stasis lock, they've crash landed, but they're still up and about and they're conscious. You see it's dinosaur, sorry, it's Dinobot, okay. It's it's a raptor. He kind of like goes up and looks at the things crashing down and then looks at them when they've crashed. You see the eye just kind of go from like normal to like bionic, you know? And it's like, so we have Dinobot at the very least. And that's where Beast Wars fans are going, we have Beast Wars stuff, you know? And I was one of them because, you know, G Bayverse stuff is not G1, but Beast Wars is, you know? Japanese stuff is, and the Unicron trilogy is, you know, it's like once again, I factor all this down into the separate boxes. To be watched and enjoyed by me? No. That to me that's crap. G1, yes. To be watched and enjoyed by me. But yeah, that's basically a very short review of War for Cybertron Earthrise. Like I said, we don't get much Earth in it. We do get some new characters, die though they do. Once again, the actual toy line was quite impressive, but they didn't really bring in a lot of people. Like they didn't like take characters from the toy line and put them into the series, you know. So that kind of sucked. I won't lie. Now we do get a lot more new characters in the next series for obvious reasons. I mean, we need at least a decent contingent of both Maximal and Predacon. Next time we'll go on to the last part of that for a quick review, and then I'll go through pretty much everything that was wrong with the whole trilogy compared to the Prime Wars trilogy. This one's actually not too bad, even though there's not really any like famous voices in it. But So till next time, roll out my fellow Cybertronians.